Makeda's has become one of those Memphis staples. You know, if you come to Memphis and you got that sweet tooth, that craving, you got other cookie places, but it's just something about Makeda's that gives that Memphis hometown vibe. That's just something you can't duplicate. It's just homegrown, man.
Well, we got our name Makeda from my niece. She was 6 years old and she passed away in '97 from leukemia, and we started in '99. When she was in the hospital, she told my wife and her mother, she said, "Why do you folks bringing me all these presents?" She said, "They think I'm a dad on it." She said, "I ain't going nowhere, but don't tell them." And so we feel like she said she wasn't going anywhere, and we just celebrated 24 years and we still calling her name. My father, we was growing up, he always said he wanted a business. He wanted a business, barbecue business. And it's just I think he's been saying it maybe over 10 years in our, from being 6 and on up to my teenage years. And so my brother could bake anything, which is Makeda's father. And I told him one day, we were sitting around, I said, "Man, we need to go into business selling those butter cookies because they were so popular in the public school system, and people loved them." And so we decided to go for it. When we started, it was 3 of us, myself, my brother, and my brother-in-law. And so 2 years and 4 months, my brother-in-law, he left because, like I said, we was making like $35 a day. We were selling barbecue plates, chili cheese nachos, Italian beef sandwiches, beef hot dogs, and so, but the sign said cookies. And so my brother-in-law, like I said, 2 years and 4 months, he got tired. He was like, "I'm out of here." And then 4 months later, my brother, he was like, "I'm out of here." And so I was left. So just me, and I couldn't walk away. And so I told my wife that I wanted to do the business full time, and she was like, "Well, maybe you can pay a phone bill or something, But she kind of gave me the go ahead to stay in here.
He asked me to quit my job. At first I was like, "Are you crazy? How are we gonna pay the bills?" And so, by me being spiritual, religious, like I was like, I pay tithes at the church, right? And so he was like, "Well, you getting the church all the money. Don't you have any faith?" And I said, "Well, yes, it's in God. It's not in you and these cookies." So, but that was just really how I answered. But I had to pray about it, and then it was like God was telling me, "You need to go and help your husband." And so I did quit my job. I had a professional job at the Regional Medical Center. I was a medical lab technician, and he was a phlebotomist. So that's how we met. He would bring the blood to the laboratory, and I was the one to receive it and analyze the blood. So yeah, but it was like, "Are you crazy?" When he asked me to quit the job, he like believing in the cookies, and I was like, wasn't really believing in the cookies like he was, because it was his idea. But his grandmother told him to reach for the moon. And that was another thing that I think he kept playing over in his head,
Yeah,
You
reach
may
for the
land
moon.
up on a star.
You're gonna make it. I know that
yeah,
you are.
And so I think that was encouraging him to
Keep going.
And then me holding on to my job for a little while to keep the bills paid made it easier for him to, hang in here.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when I finally decided to quit my job and come and help him, we just we've been through a lot.
When we first started, my wife, by her working, we used to, when it was rough, we wasn't making a lot of money, and every month we would have to get money from her to help pay the rent. And I would say, "You will get it back." She would say, "When?" And so, and now over the years, I tell her that she's getting it back now. So, yeah, it's paying off. In other words, yeah, just hanging in here and doing your best is paying off.
The famous butter cookies. If you haven't tried them, you gotta try them. And then I like pecans, so I like anything, the chocolate chip with pecans, the iced oatmeal, and then the lemon. That's the order that I like.
Memphis, I believe, this is just like one of those pillars where you go, where in Orange Mound you had a different place that was in Orange Mound. It was the Miss Louise store or Speedy's or one of those different places. So you have Makeda's, and it's like Makeda's, Memphis.
Well, I say Makeda's, here at Makeda's on 2370 Airways, it's like a bake sale. And it's been that way for 24 years. We would bake cookies and we would hope people come by them. And so there was a time when we were looking out the window like this here, waiting on customers. When we first started, it was rough. We make like $35 a day. But now, 24 years later, it's still a bake sale. We bake a lot of cookies, and people come by and we just continue to bake. It's like a bake sale. We bake, we sell, we bake.
A typical day at 301 Jefferson, we make cookie dough. We make all the cookie dough for this location. That's why they just bake and sell. So we make all of the cookie dough and we process it, and we just bring them the dough and they just put it on the pan. And also, we make the cookies for the grocery stores. So we have like 52 grocery stores, and we make the cookies for those. So we have a packaging machine, so we bake the cookies and we package them and deliver them to the grocery store. So you have people from everywhere, all over the world. So, he's just here smiling at them, and they are feeling good about coming to support. And so I think his day he's just happy all day, I think he's happy all day. And I'm downtown with the family, sometimes, not all the time. We have good days, a lot of good days. He has the people that he have here working with him. They're not actually family. They're Makeda family, but they're not a blood family, right? But downtown in the factory, I have our son, my sister, my daughter. Well, this is our daughter. And so these are the people that are actually blood relatives. And they be, it may be late, they may, but they love me. I trust them.
Basic challenges, can't get any loans. When we first started, we couldn't even we needed an oven. And my wife almost had to cry, shed a tear. And the young man took a chance on us and gave us our first oven, and we've been dealing with them for over 20 years buying ovens. But it's been challenging, but it's as basic challenges of life and the challenges of being in business. We had some break-ins. Young folk didn't have anything to do. They'd break in, they didn't even take any cookies, They hit the register one time, dropped $10 on the way out the door, but I think they might have broke in maybe a total of 3 times over the course of 24 years. Other than that, it's just basic challenges of being in business.
Yeah, paying the bills.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest challenge.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
It's hard. Any small business owner knows how hard it is trying to start and maintain a business. It's not easy. So when you talk about challenges, I guess challenges are just, running the business, paying the bills, paying the taxes. There are a lot of challenges, but it's just all about hanging in here and just seeing, going through your challenges, going through whatever you have to go through. A lot of ups and downs, just trying to maintain and, keep the business going. Hiring people.
Firing people.
That's a challenge. Having the right kind of help.
Well, for one thing, our ingredients. We use 100% butter. We just, and I think the love that we put into our cookies and the love and the respect that we have for the customers. So that's basically it, our appreciation for the customers. But when the pandemic hit, now see, that's when the game changed for us. When the pandemic hit, because my wife and I we was watching the news. Matter of fact, we had just gotten back from Africa the day that they announced the pandemic. And so we was glad to be back. We were watching the news and they said, all essential, if you're a non-essential business, had to close. And so we looked at each other, we were like, we essential, you know, but we couldn't close, and we didn't close. And so when we didn't close, customers would rush in here and be like, "Woo, I made it!" And so we were like a lifeline, you know, during the pandemic because people wanted to feel normal at an abnormal time, and so a cookie made them feel normal. Yeah, it's just the love that we have. Yes, ma'am. And the customers, they love Makeda's. They love Makeda's.
It's great to see that Makeda is a black-owned business by a young man, and that it represents well. Because a lot of times our businesses don't work, so it's good to see that they flourishing and everything's going well for them.
In the next 5 or 10 years, I see it worldwide. Really, I see franchises. I see Makeda's cookies in Africa, Japan, and Europe in the grocery stores. What does Makeda means to me? Well, it's basically the world to me, you know, because like my wife said, you know, I just get up. I'm programmed. You know, I get up. I don't waste any time. I come here, you know, at least 3 or 4 hours before I open up, and I just get up and start baking. And I've been doing that for 24 years. I just spring up. I know I can't be tired. I can't be sick. You know, my wife and I, we said you have to call in dead to be off. You know, so yeah, I just love, you know, having some direction and some focus in my life, and just you know, cause we just passing through. You know, I just want to do my best. I just want to do my best.
And being self-employed, you know, like you say, you always want to work cause you.
Oh yeah, that was my goal. Yeah, in
not
life.
Cause you have to.
Yeah, I was going to school. I was going to University of Memphis. I made it to my senior year. You know, and I was trying to be a doctor. Because my goal was to put myself in a position, if I work, it'll be because I want to and not because I have to. And I thought going for the highest job in the land, being a doctor, was going to do that for me. But once the cookie business came into play, I said, I'm out of here. I even started, through the comb away, I stopped combing my hair, you know, so I started growing my dreadlocks because I said, because this is how I want to pass through. You know, I want to be me. And so I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You know, it's like a dream come true.
I'm you know, everything he's saying, you know, I'm just really, I left my job and I came out here, you know, in support of him and trying to help him run this business because as a wife, you know, I know a lot of wives, in these days, people don't really just want to get married. So submitting to your husband is something like, submit to my husband, what? But it seems like as I decided to come out and help him, it was just a blessing to me that God would, you know, allow things to turn around the way things are now. We have grandbabies that I would love to see grow up in the business, and because the oldest one is like 8. She's 8 and 7, but they don't live here in Memphis. They live in Missouri. But my other 3 grandbabies that do live here, the one that's 5, I told myself, okay, in another 2 years, I'm gonna have you washing dishes. So it's all about really leaving a legacy as well, as far as Makeda's, what it really means now. As we grow older and, you know, your knees get to aching and stuff, you know, you want to pass it on. And so I would love to see them take over the business and keep it going even after we're gone. So leaving a legacy of Makeda's is something that I want to see happen.
To all the customers that have been coming all the years, Makeda's love you, and we appreciate you, and hopefully you'll continue to do what you have been doing, enjoying the cookies and spreading the word and spreading the joy about Makeda's, because I tell them every day, we're nobody without you.